Professor at Montclair State University, Dan Geltrude. Okay, so Dan, let's start with this. So the president hinted to impose up to a 200% tariff on pharmaceuticals imported into the states, quote, very soon. Trump also said that he would impose a 50% tariff on copper imported into the country. All right, so Dan, what do you make of all of this?
Well, the pharmaceutical tariff, that's a big one, Alex, because now you're starting to talk about the cost of prescription drugs. Now, what the president is trying to achieve here is to bring manufacturing of those drugs into the United States, which everybody wants to have happen for a number of reasons. One is we don't want to have shortages. We want to be able to have access to the drugs that people really need. However, the other side of this is it could get expensive. So we have to balance these two out. Now, as far as copper goes, keep in mind that copper is used in so many of the electronic products that people use every single day. Yeah. So if we're going to have tariffs there, prices could go up. So between the two of these, they're big. The good news is that President Trump is going to give some time for, as he said, these companies to get their act together.
Yeah, because, I mean, we definitely don't need prices going up, especially on pharmaceuticals. I mean, my goodness, people can barely afford most of that as it is. But moving on. So a decision from the Federal Housing and Finance Agency will now allow mortgage lenders to look at another credit score agency called Vantage Score, a rival to FICO. Dan, how will this affect the average U.S. consumer?
Well, let's hope here that competition is going to bring the cost down. You know, when you're closing on a home and you look at all these various costs, the one thing that we want to have done is to make it simple and to make it less costly. So if you only have one game in town for credit scores, you have to figure it's going to be more expensive. The other thing that always concerns me is the accuracy of these reports. So many people say, hey, wait a minute, this score isn't accurate because I didn't have these credit problems. Yeah. So let's hope with the addition of another major credit score company that we're going to have lower costs, and how about this, more accuracy.
Yeah, and it's always good to have a little competition. I mean, that is just never a bad thing. But meanwhile, how about this? So Hilton is now welcoming long-stay guests, which will include traveling nurses, relocating workers who are searching for accommodations for 10 nights or more. Dan, this is pretty big, and I think this is a pretty smart move because you know how it is. You get a last-minute job, you got to move to a city within a couple of days. I think this is good, right?
It is a good move by Hilton. It's something that's needed. However, this is not a new concept. There are plenty of hotel chains out there that can offer extended stay. So I think Hilton is making the right move because it tailors the stays to the amount of people traveling long-term for business.
Yeah, and I know a lot of traveling nurses, and I know that they definitely would take advantage of that. But finally, as we previously discussed on the show, McDonald's launching its series of new options to help spice up the menu with its new breakfast menu. That includes spicy versions of their super famous McMuffin. Dan, I think this launched yesterday morning. You're a McDonald's guy. Have you tried it? And do you think this will boost sales for McDonald's?
Well, I haven't tried it yet, but I have to tell you, I did have a McMuffin over the weekend, and I absolutely love McMuffins. Now, we're going to make it spicier. I'm not really a spicy guy, but let me tell you this. The big challenge that McDonald's actually has, I believe, is not necessarily the need to expand their menu. It's the need to bring the cost down for consumers. It's simply getting too expensive to purchase fast food.
I mean, just looking back at old menus of McDonald's, my goodness, even a decade ago, you could get so much food for like about $5. You can't get anything for $5 now, even at McDonald's. Dan Geltrude, thank you so much for joining us this morning. So great seeing you.
Thanks, Alex.